Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, but today I am back with a kind of like, I guess a vlog, but something very important. Obviously, if you've seen on my channel, I do a lot of things about my endometriosis, raising awareness for it. Very sweaty right now, I've just got back from the gym.
Thanks for waiting. The team knows you.
I am just about to have my first fertility appointment. So you may or may know, may or may not know, I created a petition about endometriosis and freezing your eggs, and upon that learned a lot of information and have decided to look into the journey myself. So I'm quite lucky that I do work at a gynecology, like in the booking team at my local hospital, and so I'm seeing the fertility specialist there. I'm just waiting in the video. I'm having a video call because I still have COVID. So I'm just going to use this appointment with this consultant to discuss my options, how much endometriosis is going to reduce my chances of getting pregnant. I know it's around 50%, but obviously it's different for each person, whether I can have any more testing before I decide whether to freeze my eggs and things like that, because it's a very expensive process, probably about 8 to 10 grand, and I just have started a master's, which is another 10 grand, so I don't want to spend all that money now when I may not need to, and just get some professional advice really. But I thought I'd film the whole process because it's something that a lot of women are going to go through. I mean, 1 in 10 women have endometriosis, so a lot of people are going to be in a similar position, and there's probably not a lot of young girls, I'm 21, there's probably not a lot of young girls that are going to talk about it. So I'm going to take it upon myself and vlog the journey. Once I've had the appointment, I'll run through what was said and the plan going forward. So I'm just going to have the appointment. Right, just had the appointment. I've put my phone down at a really bad angle, but if I don't, I'll like hold it and fidget and whatnot. So, oh my god, the consultant, she's one of my favourite consultants at work. Like, she's so lovely. So we spoke about the fact that obviously the first thing we discussed was like my age, like whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm ready to have babies now. So obviously it's like 21, single as a Pringle, not ready to have babies now. We then spoke about my history of like my endometriosis, so like how many surgeries I've had, what they found, things like that. And I explained how it's like always been on my ovaries. I've had some endometriomas. You know, all the good stuff that you can probably find in my recent videos about my endometriosis. She then basically explained to me my options. So first things first, I'm going to have a blood test, which is my AMH, which tests my ovarian reserve. So like how many eggs I have, because as a woman, you're born with all of your eggs, and endometriosis can actually affect how many eggs you have. So that's the first thing, is have the blood test, have a look at what my ovarian reserve is like, and go from there. Sorry. But then she briefly went over like my options. So first one, which I thought was like the most common, was freezing my eggs. She said, yeah, like if you'd asked me a year and a half ago, I would have been all for it. But she's had a lot of evidence of women that they don't have, like, they freeze their eggs, they may not freeze enough eggs, and then once they're unfrozen, so thawed, they don't work and they end up not getting pregnant. She said the safest option is to freeze embryos, but that would involve having sperm, so I would have to find a sperm donor. Won't lie, as soon as she said that, I was like I don't know why, that just scares me so much, like having to like look through a book for a sperm donor. It's just a very scary thought, and I personally don't think I'm like mentally mature enough for that right now. She did say though that most of the time they say the best time to freeze your eggs is between like 27 and 31, just because you can only freeze your eggs for up to 10 years. And obviously if I froze them now, I'd only have until I was 31 to use them, which is still quite young. But as I said, she said that's all dependent on like how many eggs I have left, whether it's time sensitive. She did say what I could do is if I did have to freeze them now and I got to 30, 31 and I didn't want to I didn't want to use them myself with a partner yet, I could then make them into embryos with a sperm donor and freeze them again. So once like you've got the 10 years, even though you have to use the eggs, you can then freeze the embryos. Yeah, it's just, I'm not gonna lie, I came off the call and I just cried because it's so much to think about, especially when it's like, when you're in a relationship and you're going through it, like it's both of you going through it and you have that support. Like, I'm lucky I've got my friends and family, of course, but it's talking about having a baby. Like, this is on my own. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional now. Like, it's just, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to think about. But the first step is get my blood test done, have a look at the results in 4 weeks' time at my follow-up. It may be that comes back and I'm fine, like, my ovary reserve is great, but if it's not, that's when we, like, look at things. But yeah, that was just, I don't know, it's made me realise there's a lot of options. It's just a lot it's quite overwhelming and a lot to think about. It's obviously a big thing. But yeah, so that's that. So I'll probably go get my blood test done tomorrow after work, because I work at the hospital, so I can obviously get it done there. And then yeah, it's 4 weeks till my follow-up, which is fine. It's just knowing that I'll be at work and they'll have my results. Literally, like, the secretary sits like 2 rows behind me, and I'll be like, but I've just got to be patient. Like, 4 weeks in reality isn't going to make a difference to my fertility, if that makes sense. Like, the results you get from my AMH now won't be different to 4 weeks' time. She did say, though, that if my AMH is fine, then we will test me yearly, so that if my endo gets worse and things like that, then we can, like, get on it. But yeah, so first fertility appointment done. So I will update you all at my 4-week follow-up. So I nearly forgot to film, and I might have to cut this off quickly because I'm waiting for my appointment. But yeah, I'm about to have my appointment to find out about my blood test results and what the next steps are. I'm feeling quite positive. It's about a month and a half since I had the blood test, but I'm feeling quite positive about, like, the results. I think it's going to be fine. I think they're going to turn around and say, yep, your AMH is fine. We'll just monitor you every year.
Thanks for waiting.
Hang on. We'll just monitor you every year and make sure. But yeah, I think hopefully it'll be fine. But obviously I'll film afterwards with how it goes. But I'm feeling positive. So it turns out having a positive mental attitude doesn't always work. I was going to leave filming this bit for the next few days, but might as well get it over and done with. I want to put you down somewhere. Can I put you there? That'll do. So I got my results back, and I can't even speak. The average AMH, I can't even remember what it stands for, but it tests how many eggs you've got, or like is around 20 to 25. So it doesn't mean that I have 20 to 25 eggs, it just means that's the average. Like that, no, that's just like however they measure it. It's like 25 for 21 years old, and mine is at 9.4. So it's low. The only reason I'm not crying right now is my eyes are so puffy. I've just cried a lot, so I don't know if I can cry again right now. But the outcome, I'm going to keep this brief because I think I need to take a few days to just, like, I can cry again. I think I just need to take a few days to, like, digest what I've been told. But I basically just need to look into freezing my eggs as soon as possible. I'll need to have quite a few cycles because not only is my, like, low egg count probably to do with my endometriosis, but there's no way of knowing. Endometriosis does, like, poorly affect how many eggs you produce during IVF. So whereas most people with a AMH of 9 would produce like 10 eggs, I'll probably only produce 6. So I'll definitely need, like, lots of cycles. She also suggested, my consultant, that I take some of them eggs and make them into embryos using a sperm donor. I'll also have to get the coil taken out. This will all probably make my endometriosis a lot worse. So as soon as I've done this, I'll probably have to go back into menopause. I'm obviously in the middle of just started doing a master's degree, so it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to think about, and the money, like, she said it could be anything from 15 grand to 30 grand, and I've got to try and find that money because the NHS doesn't fund it. Like, this is why the petition I did is so important. Like, I don't want to cry on this, I'm probably like an idiot, but like, endometriosis has this effect. Like, the NHS should, like, I can't help that I've got this got this condition and there's no cure for it, so things will just get worse. So the NHS should fund it. But now I'm lucky in the fact that I have saved money, because I was going to save to move out, but I've got some money. Like, I've got an amazing family that I know will all come together and help me. Like, oh, it's a lot. But I think in my head right now, like, because I'm such a control freak, like, I just want to, the way I want to deal with it is just search everything, get everything sorted, like, get it all in motion. But I think realistically I need to take like at least the weekend to just digest the information and deal with it. But I'll obviously keep updating this, and I'll literally do the whole journey. But yeah, this isn't great, but I thought I'd film it because we got to raise awareness and I've got to help other people. Hello again. I think this vlog is literally just going to be me talking until everything starts, but I've just had my initial consultation with Care Fertility, as they're the closest clinic to me, so it just made sense. So yeah, I've just had my initial consultation with the consultant, and it was an hours-long consultation. It was good and bad. I need to stop holding it because it just goes shaky. Yeah. That'll do. So it was good and bad because, so basically my plan, Care Fertility, offer a multi-cycle package, so you can do up to 4 rounds of egg freezing, and basically until you get 20 eggs. And I didn't realise there's criteria, so you have to be under 36, be within like a normal BMI, and have good like egg reserve. And obviously the top 2 I'm fine. The egg reserve is where my low AMH comes into play. So he doesn't think I'm eligible for it, but so I've got to have a pre-treatment scan, which will basically look at how many follicles are on my ovaries, how accessible my ovaries are, and things like that. And if that's miraculously loads better than my blood results, then I might be eligible. But we had a very long conversation. We spoke about my heart condition because we're worried about the hormones and the effect it will have on my heart. So I've got to contact my cardiologist and also get some letters and give that to them. But he spoke me through the process. I think he was very much more freeze eggs, get eggs, because then if in the future I need to use them with a sperm donor, I can, or if I use them with my partner, I can. So I'm not going to ramble on too much, but the process I'm thinking is, depending obviously from my pre-treatment scan, it will give us more information on if I'm going to be able to go ahead with the egg freezing. But basically I think he said I'm going to need a couple of rounds, like, we know that, and where I'm not going to be able to do the multi-cycle package, it's going to be more expensive. But my plan in my head at the moment is do 1 round of egg freezing, see how many eggs I get from it, do another one, and then on that do another one, so on the 3rd cycle make them all embryos with a sperm donor. Because I just think there's a 10-year, you can only freeze your eggs for 10 years, and if I get to like 8 years and I've not found a partner, that's going to put a lot of pressure on it. Whereas if I've got embryos, because basically obviously I can, like, when I have a partner or whatever, when I'm like 8 years time, if I haven't got a partner or whatever, or if I'm ready to have a baby, I can defrost as much the eggs and use them with sperm, with IVF. But when you defrost the eggs, only about 70% of them survive, and then when you inject the sperm, another like 50% of them fail. So like the statistics go down a lot. But if I create embryos with fresh eggs, obviously that percentage of the eggs not like failing when they're defrosting is eliminated. So that's why I'm kind of thinking 2 rounds of egg freezing, 1 round of embryos. He's going to do a breakdown of all the prices for each cycle and try and get me in for my scan as soon as possible. I'll also have to have a blood test that is basically like an STI screening, so HIV, hepatitis, them kind of things. Get that done. and then we can really look at the plan, and hopefully, because I was saying to him, so he's going to put me on like the highest dose of hormones because my AMH is so low for about 12 to 14 days. And I was saying, well, I'm off uni from the like 17th of December to the 17th of January, and ideally I'd want to do it in that time, and whether that would be possible. And he just said we can try and have a look, but it all depends on my results and getting me in, etc. But I feel it's a bit of a, when someone's constantly telling you like, so he was saying he wasn't trying to be pessimistic, but he was like, with endometriosis, the quality of your eggs is reduced. So when you extract them, a lot of them might fail, they might not mature. Like, ideally, because I'm 21 and young, the quality of my eggs should be better, but because of my endometriosis, they could be reduced. So there's a lot of factors that my endometriosis is going to impact. He said all my surgeries, like the endometriomas, would have reduced my ovarian reserve because you're removing ovarian tissue and all things like that. So right, I haven't cried yet, so that's good, but there's just a lot to think about and a lot of factors to weigh in. I don't have to get the marina coil removed, which is something that I was shocked by, because I thought I would have to come off of like all contraception, but I can keep the marina coil in. And he said I can use sperm from like a different, so my friend at uni works at London Sperm Bank, so I can use sperm from there if I want to, or I can use the Care Fertility sperm and all things like that. So just so much to think about, and it's going to be a journey. Hopefully, I think I'm going to upload this vlog in like 2 parts. So once I've had my scan and my blood test, maybe I'll upload it, or upload it now. I'm just doing like, I'm obviously going to have to do it in parts, but I think I'll upload this once I've got my plan in place. So once I've had my scan and my blood test, and then I can upload part 1, and then we can upload part 2. But yeah, that's the plan at the moment. Definitely going to have to do some fundraising because I can't get the multi-cycle thing. Well, we don't think I can. But I don't think, I was a bit like, oh, maybe I shouldn't freeze my eggs, but now I think listening to him as well, I definitely need to. But yeah, I'm just going to try and find my cardiology letters and get in contact with his secretary and go from there, really. But that's the update. This has literally just been a video of me talking the whole time, but not that it's an exciting thing, but when obviously all the treatments start, it'll be more informative. But that was a rough summary of today's appointment. First appointment done. If anyone's wondering, it was £230 for a virtual appointment. Bank account's crying. But yeah, that's that. So I'll update you when I have my scan and my blood tests. Hello. Oh god, the sun is bright. Welcome back to, I don't know if I can actually put this anywhere. There? Maybe? No, we're gonna hold it. Welcome back to part 3 of the fertility journey. I have just got to Care Fertility, like the actual, I can't actually see, the actual centre in Tunbridge Wells, because today is the day I'm having my pre-treatment scan, so that we can look at how many, I'm having an antral follicle scan, which like shows how many cysty follicle things you have, and like the more you have, the more fertile you are. They're also going to check how damaged my ovaries are, and like do a proper scan of everything, basically, to have like the final thing to say how my fertility actually is and the treatment plan going forward. So yeah, I've just pulled up here and my appointment's for like 15 minutes before I get a bit early, you know. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. This is part whatever of it. So I've had the appointment, 2 appointments with the NHS fertility doctor, and 1 appointment with, well, it must be part 4, 1 appointment with my fertility consultant at Care, and then this is the scan, and then we can get a treatment plan in place. I'll have to have bloods and stuff, but yeah. So I'm here doing that today, which is very fun. Smiling through the pain or the anxiousness or whatever it is. So I'm gonna go in and get an ultrasound, and we'll see what the results are after. I swear to God, I am fed up of having bad news, and I'm trying to stay positive through this all. But so I had the scan, and
the average amount of follicles in each ovary for like a normal person with no problems or anything, and like of my age, is around 15 in each ovary, and they found 4 in each of my ovaries. They found 4 in one, and I think they found maybe 5 in another. I think it was like 3 or 4 in one and 4 or 5 in another, so it averaged out to 4 in each ovary, which is obviously really low. And then I also have a cyst on my left ovary, which I can't do anything with egg freezing until that's gone. Because if they give me the hormones for egg freezing, the cyst will just grow and it could be dangerous. So I've got to wait to hear back from the consultant in the next couple of days. It's Wednesday today, so either by the end of the week or beginning of next week. And once I know, then I can see what they say. But yeah, they having only 4 means that the IVF is less likely to be successful and lower pregnancy rates and everything like that. So I've got to try and wait to see what the consultant says. But they said for the cyst I might need to go on like medication for a month to try and get rid of it, or this is just what the nurse was saying, so it's all waiting to see what the consultant says. But I knew it was going to be lower than it was meant to be, but I didn't expect it to be that low. Because, like, the amount of follicles you have, that's like the maximum eggs I think you'll get from a cycle. And obviously, they normally aim to get like, I think they aim to get like 25 eggs in total. But that's after like, so maybe not all of the follicles will turn into eggs when they give you the hormones. So yeah, I'm not really making much sense, I don't think. But I just thought I'd quickly update. And then I will, when the consultant decides what I'm going to do, that's when I'll come on here.
We're back at the usual angle. So, last time we spoke, I'm pretty sure, was when I had my pre-treatment scan. I found out that I didn't have many follicles, and I also found out that I had an ovarian cyst and they wanted to re-scan me. So since then, obviously been a bit shit, but it's fine. So since then, so that scan was the 5th of January. It's now the 16th of February. I didn't bother filming everything because I was literally just sitting here talking at the camera, with all this information. I thought I might as well leave it. So I was due a follow-up with my endometriosis consultant anyway. So I had a scan with him 2 weeks ago, and we looked at the cyst and it was doubled in size. Obviously, he was really upset. He was like, if it doesn't go down, we might have to consider surgery. I was thinking it's going to be ages till I freeze my eggs. And over the last week, I've had really bad pelvic pain. So I actually had another scan done yesterday, which showed that actually, no, it's a follicle. It's starting to collapse. It's not a cyst. Won't need to have surgery. So that's good news. I also had to have my anaesthesia review with the anaesthetist up at the London clinic. And they have signed it all off, had said, yep, it's fine, we definitely want you to come to London, not Tunbridge Wells, and have the anaesthetist there in case my heart goes dodgy, but I can have it done there. And then just now, I've finally booked in all of my dates. So it all starts, so my period, I've got the coil, so I've been trying to track my periods, would be due this weekend. As soon as I have my periods, I then have my screening next week, which is like chlamydia, HIV, rubella, thyroid, all of that. I then have counselling because they offer 3 free counselling sessions. So of course I'm going to make the most of that because I'm not okay up here. And then the day after that, I have a call with the nurse who's going to take me through all the medication, what I have to do, everything like that. And then a few weeks later, I start northisterone, which is going to cause me to hopefully bleed. And they're basically trying to time everything because I have the coil. They can't go off my periods, really. Then I have to have a scan and then another scan and injections and egg retrieval, and I'm freaking out, but it's going to be fine. But I'm thinking, now that I've had all the pre-build-up stuff done, so I've had all the pre-treatment stuff and I'm starting the whole process now, I think I'm going to end this part here, and this can be part 1 because it's already quite long. But no, I'm not crying, but don't take this as that I'm feeling positive. I am absolutely bricking it. It's very scary, but hopefully it all goes well. So I'm going to end this part of the vlog here, and I'll start it again for when I have all my stuff started, so the blood tests and medications and everything. So yeah, this is part 1 done of the fertility. It's been a bloody long build up. I had my first appointment in September or October 2021, and it's now middle of Feb 2022, but we're getting there. So yeah, thanks for watching this part. I have got a GoFundMe to help try and raise money for the whole egg freezing, because it is very, very expensive, and I will link that down below. If you're kind enough, if you have anything, I would really, really appreciate it. I do want to try and do some fundraising, but yeah, so thank you so much for watching this part, and I'll see you in the next part when we start the fertility stuff and actually start egg freezing. Thank you.